In the news tonight, the Prime Minister says his government will now open the door for appointments to senior positions at government agencies after they had been temporarily halted over the past months. Jordan TV celebrates its 45th anniversary tomorrow as it continues the mission of providing meaningful national information devoted to freedom of expression and opinion. And Italian centre-left politician Enrico Letta names a new coalition government, ending the stalemate since February's deadlocked election. Good evening and welcome to a new edition of the news. Here are the details. Prime Minister Abdullah Mansour said that his government will now open the door for appointments to senior positions at government agencies. Hiring had been temporarily halted over the past months due to concerns that such appointments might interfere with parliamentary elections and deliberations of the government's policy statement. Mansour said as he chaired a meeting of the Budget Advisory Council that the government will adopt clear merit-based criteria as a mechanism for appointments to top civil service jobs according to Civil Service Bureau regulations. The Prime Minister, whose government won a vote of confidence at the lower house last week, promised lawmakers that appointments will resume in a thorough manner to meet the actual needs of ministries, departments and governmental units of technical and specialized manpower. Jordan Television celebrates its 45th anniversary tomorrow. Television transmission started on April 28, 1968, during the reign of His Majesty the late King Hussein. Transmission started from one studio with 3 hours of programming. In 1972, JTV became the first station in the region to operate a second channel, Channel 2, which specialized in foreign programs. 2 years later, JTV started transmission in full colors and was expanded to cover the entire kingdom. Since that time, Jordan TV has carried the message of the nation, achieved many accomplishments, and continued carrying its national role under the leadership of His Majesty King Abdullah. Jordan TV has the mission of providing meaningful national information devoted to freedom of expression and opinion within an atmosphere based on independence and responsible expressions of all classes and sectors of the nation. Prime Minister Abdullah Mansour congratulated Jordan TV on this occasion. During a telephone call with Radio Jordan, Mansour said that Jordan Television maintained its stature despite fierce media competition. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said he would begin talks with rival factions, including Islamist Hamas, to form a unity government, a crucial step towards healing years of damaging internal divisions. But underscoring the chasm between Abbas's Fatah movement and Hamas spokesman Sami Abu Zuhri said Abbas had not consulted his group, which learned about this move from media reports. Past unity attempts have foundered because Hamas and Fatah have been unable to agree a joint agenda, above all on how to handle the conflict with Israel. Syrian rebels attacked a sprawling military airbase in the northwest of the country, while opposition forces in the south assaulted a string of army checkpoints and positions. In the fighting at the Abu Suhour airbase in northwestern Idlib province, there were reports of casualties on both sides. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the Syrian Air Force conducted several air raids during the fighting to ease pressure on government troops inside the airbase. The state-run news agency Sana quoted a military official as saying the troops repelled the attack and inflicted great losses on the attackers. The raids follow nearly 2 weeks of advances by Syrian troops, mostly in the suburbs of the capital and areas in the central province of Homs. In Iraq, militants shot dead 5 Iraqi soldiers in the city of Ramadi in Al-Anbar province. The soldiers were on their way back from holiday to their units when they came under fire. Earlier in the day in the Abu Ghraib district of Baghdad, 4 soldiers were killed in clashes with unidentified gunmen. And late last night, at least 5 people were killed and 28 others injured in 4 bombing attacks in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. Residents of the Shiite slum of Sadr city assessed the damage caused by a motorcycle bomb that targeted a popular restaurant. The attacks in Southern City coincided with attacks across the Iraqi capital that killed at least 20 people. Police said a bomb exploded at the entrance of a mosque southwest of Baghdad as worshippers were leaving Friday prayers, killing 4 of them. No group claimed responsibility for any of the attacks. Italian centre-left politician Enrico Letta named a new coalition government after reaching a deal with Silvio Berlusconi's centre-right party that ended the stalemate since February's deadlocked election. The government, which will include a record number of women ministers, will be sworn in tomorrow before a vote of confidence expected on Monday. Letta met President Giorgio Napolitano after talks with Berlusconi and leaders of his centre-right People of Freedom party to confirm that he had reached an accord which would clear the way for a government to be formed. Letta said his priorities will be boosting the economy and tackling unemployment and trying to turn Europe away from austerity to focus more on growth and investment.
I believe that this list of ministers presents not only a government that I hope will be a solid and strongly determined team able to face the difficulties that we have ahead of us, but also a government, a team of cabinet members that has certain characteristics and skills, a rejuvenation, as well as a record presence of female members. As far as I am concerned, the combination of these factors is one of the main satisfactions of our achievement.
I hope that this government can get to work quickly in the spirit of fervent cooperation. I believe that all persons called on to take part in this government will give us this guarantee of working together without any prejudice or conflict.
European Union Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Beijing for talks to strengthen ties with the world's second-largest economy. Ashton is expected to discuss strategic challenges with Chinese leaders related to Iran, Syria, North Korea, and Afghanistan. Earlier this month, Ashton led nuclear talks with Iran on behalf of the United States, China, Russia, Britain, France, and Germany. U.S. President Barack Obama chided Republicans for approving a plan to ease air traffic delays caused by federal spending cuts while leaving budget cuts that affect children and the elderly untouched. In his weekly radio address, Obama noted that the cuts were affecting social programs and should be replaced with less arbitrary spending reductions. He urged Republicans to abandon the sequester and work toward reaching a long-term budget deal. Obama said he hoped members of Congress would feel the same sense of urgency they felt with the FAA cuts on other programs. Despite the chiding, however, Obama is expected to sign the bill.
Congress passed a temporary fix, a Band-Aid, but these cuts are scheduled to keep falling across other parts of the government that provide vital services for the American people. And we can't just keep putting Band-Aids on every cut. It's not a responsible way to govern. There's only one way to truly fix the sequester: by replacing it before it causes further damage.
Madonna fans, eager to see some of her most iconic costumes, were treated to a rare display at a pop-up exhibition in Los Angeles. The exhibit, dubbed Madonna's Fashion Evolution, is part of a pop-up exhibition for a Material Girl, a clothing line which she designed with her daughter, Lourdes. Various looks on display included the famous Jean-Paul Gaultier cone bra corset from her Blonde Ambition tour, a wedding dress she wore to the MTV Video Music Awards in 1984, and her boy toy jacket designed by Vivienne Westwood and Keith Haring. Madonna herself selected the costumes for the exhibition.
So this look was worn in her Papa Joe previous. Yeah, that's cool.
I like that. That's nice. All right, and
A 32-year-old Indian man with an obsession for gold and fame has got a shirt made for him of pure gold at a staggering $250,000. It took a team of 15 goldsmiths working 16 hours a day for 2 weeks to create the golden shirt after some very intricate weaving and knitting of the gold threads. A jeweler designed the shirt after sifting through historical paintings and books to check various armors worn by the kings and warriors. The shirt comes complete with its own matching cuffs and a set of rings, also crafted from gold. It's assembled on a fabric base of imported white velvet and comes with 6 Swarovski crystal buttons and an intricate belt, of course, all made up of gold. Local hopes of an overall victory in the Tour of Turkey took a boost when Mustafa Sayar retained the leader's blue jersey in the 7th stage of the race. The 125-kilometer stage took the riders from Kuşadası to Izmir. Sayar holds a 41-second lead over Eritrea's Nathaniel Berhan, while Johan Bagot of France is in 3rd. Tomorrow's final stage takes the riders on a 121-kilometer loop around Istanbul. Also in cycling on the Tour de Romandie, Simon Spilak of Slovenia won stage 4, with overall leader Chris Froome of Great Britain chasing him to the finish line in 2nd. Rui Costa of Portugal finished 3rd. Snowfall at the peak of the Col de Croix Category 1 climb forced organizers to change the day's route slightly. Riders still ascended the Category 1 climbs, but took a slightly less demanding route to the finish. And in tennis and the Barcelona Open, Rafael Nadal overcame an early setback to outclass Milos Raonic and book a place in the final. Nadal is bidding for his 8th win in the event. With a 6-4, 6-love win, it'll be an all-Spanish affair in the final against 4th seeded Nicolas Almagro. And finally, a quick look at the weather forecast. Pleasant tonight with a chance for local showers and easterly moderate winds. Tomorrow, another hot day is expected with easterly moderate winds that could turn dusty at times in the Badia region. As for the Gulf of Aqaba, very hot and dry conditions are expected, while winds will be southerly moderate and the seas slightly choppy. Here now is a look at temperatures forecast for tonight and tomorrow. And to close, his reminder of the day's top stories. The Prime Minister says his government will now open the door for appointments to senior positions at government agencies after they had been temporarily halted over the past months. Jordan TV celebrates its 45th anniversary tomorrow as it continues the mission of providing meaningful national information devoted to freedom of expression and opinion. And Italian centre-left politician Enrico Letta names a new coalition government, ending the stalemate since February's deadlocked election. And with this, we come to the end of this edition of the news. I'm Alia Tukan. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.